Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So if you remember, a couple of days back I did a video on the Realme Buds Air 3, which is an entirely new launch by Realme, and these are available at 3,999 on Flipkart at the time of making the video. And if I talk about Realme, so I would say they make some very budget oriented audio products. I'm not too impressed with their phone lineup, but yes, when it comes to their audio products, they make some very affordable true wireless earbuds. So in today's video we'll be comparing the Realme Buds Air 3 with its previous version, which is the Realme Buds Air 2. If you haven't watched this video, I'll link this in the description below. Make sure to check it out. At the time of making the video, Buds Air 2 are available at 2,999. These are available at 3,999. There is a 1,000 rupees price gap between both of these. So let's find out in the video, like if you can save 1,000 rupees and go with the Buds Air 2, or you should still go with the Buds Air 3. Anyway, so let's start with the box and packaging. So if you look at the box, both of these are very similar. The previous one was entirely yellow. The new one is a combination of white and yellow. The Buds 3's box come listed with two key features, which is the dual device connectivity and 42 dB of active noise cancellation. And if you look at the box of Buds Air 2, so it's mentioned that these are charging at 5 volt 0.12 ampere and these are IPX5 water resistant. And the Buds Air 3's box says that these are charging at 5 volt 0.17 ampere, and once again these are IPX5 water resistant. So slightly higher current value indicates that two things. First, that the Buds 3 have a larger battery size, or they may be charging at a slightly higher, you can say they may be charging slightly faster as compared to the Buds 2. So the playback time mentioned on the Buds Air 3 is 30 hours as compared to 25 hours on the Buds Air 2. Now this is something that is written on paper. I haven't tested the battery backup too extensively on the Buds Air 3 because this takes a lot of time. If I take it as 25 hours comparable with the previous one, so it's not less, but anyway on paper it's 30 hours, so slightly higher backup on the Buds Air 3 as compared to the Buds Air 2. When we talk about the box content, so you get very similar box contents with both of these kind of yellow colored charging cables, 2 extra pair of ear tips, and user manual. Now if you look at the user manual carefully, one thing I noticed was that on the Buds 3 user manual they have mentioned how to take the earbuds out of the case. Now this was something very interesting. I'll talk about this in the later part of the video. When we talk about the design and build quality, so the Buds Air 2 used to come with a glossy finish case, while the case on the Buds Air 3 is matte in finish. One of the disadvantage of glossy finish case is that it gets scratches, although the scratches are not visible when you are holding it at a distance, but yeah, when you look at it carefully and you bring it close to your eyes, then you will see these kind of micro scratches on its body. On the other hand, matte finish is slightly less prone to scratches, so this is kind of a upgrade over the Buds Air 2 in terms of finish. Apart from that, both of these, the case on the Buds Air 3, it's slightly more small and compact in each and every dimension. There are a few things in common, like on both of these you get this reset button which you can use to pair it with any of your device, and at the bottom you get a Type-C port for charging. Both of these cases are very comfortable to hold, and you can actually open the buds with a single hand, so it's kind of a thumbs up. The next thing I want to talk about is the design of the earbuds itself. So you can already see that the Buds Air 3, the Buds Air 2 are slightly more bigger as compared to the Buds Air 3, and the major difference you will find is in the size of the stems. So the stems on these were slightly bigger and they used to come with a glossy finish, while on this one you get smaller stems and with a matte finish. Apart from that, what many of people haven't told you is that the housing on the Buds Air 3 is slightly bigger as compared to the Buds Air 2. I hope you can see that difference. Now in the beginning of the video I told you that in the Buds Air 3's manual they have told you how to take the earbuds out of the case. Now why they have to include that particular point? Now let's have a look at the Buds Air 2. So if you look at this is how the earbuds are sitting inside the case on the Buds Air 2, and most of the people including me used to take the earbuds somewhat like this out of the case, and when they were pulling the earbuds out of the case like that, most of the time the fingers used to slip because the grip wasn't very nice. And another problem with the Buds Air 2 was that as the stems were slightly bigger, so when the people were putting this directly in the slot, so it used to get stuck somewhat like this. See, it's not going inside, so the stems should be vertically above the slot so that they get pulled inside the case. So these two problems were actually solved with the Buds Air 3. So they made the housing slightly more bigger, and they want your index finger to be like that, they want your thumb to be like that, and they want you to pull the earbuds like this. This action is now more seamless and more natural, and when you're putting the earbuds in the case, due to the smaller stems, they get pulled inside the case very easily. So I would say it's a major improvement in terms of design as compared to the Buds Air 2. Buds Air 3 comes with some very handy features. So let's say your buds are connected to your phone and you lose one of the buds. So you can go into the Bluetooth menu and you will find an option called Find Device. And using this feature, you can actually play a kind of beep on your earbuds. Now definitely you have to maintain some kind of a silence, but the feature is really very handy just in case you lose one of the buds and it's lying somewhere around. Now talking about the Realme Link Cap. So both of these buds have slightly different features when you connect them to the Realme Link Cap. So right now you can see that my buds 3 are connected, and if I go into on this page, so here you will find the two earbuds resting inside the case and they are being shown in green color, which indicates that they are charging. And also my case is right now at a 50% battery and it's not charging, so it's showing in black. If at this point I connect my data cable, or you can see the charging cable, so you can see the case also turns green and it means it is charging. So very cool way of representing the things. And if you think that there is some kind of fault or anything, so that's easily identified on this particular page. Now if I take the buds out of the case, you can once again see that the buds are showing in black, but at this point you can see that as I take the buds out of the case gets disappeared on the picture. Neither it's on this page nor on the previous page, and at this point you cannot find the battery percentage on the case, which is quite weird. When I mentioned this particular thing on my previous video, which was the unboxing video, one of you said that this is not something to bother about because in most of the buds you can't find the battery percentage on the case when the buds are out of the case. It's only possible in the Apple EarPods. But I would like to say that if I'm using the Buds Air 2, so it doesn't matter whether the buds are in the case or out of the case, you always get the value of the case battery on the Realme Link Cap, which is quite handy. So when it comes to the representation of things, I would say the interface of the Realme Buds Air 2 is slightly better as compared to the Buds Air 3 because it's giving you a very valuable information regarding the battery percentage on the case. Taking you a little bit more deep in the Realme Link Cap, so I have two different buds both connected to two different phones. You can already see that the Buds Air 2 showing you the case percentage and the Buds Air 3 not showing you the case percentage. Talking about a bit more features, so on the Buds Air 3 you find a feature called wind noise reduction. I don't know how handy it is, or it's just kind of a showcase kind of a thing on the Realme Link Cap, but what matters is that you have a feature called wind noise reduction. Then you have another feature on the Buds Air 3 which is called the customized auto tuning, where you can tune your buds according to your liking. This feature is not available in the Buds Air 2. Then both of these buds have the gaming mode, so both of these will provide you with 88 milliseconds of low latency mode, which is common in both of these. Apart from this, you have a feature called dual device connection in the Buds Air 3. Now Realme is using this particular feature to actually advertise these earbuds, and we will find out in a short while how good it is. Apart from that, you also have a feature called Realme Earbud Fit Test, which is available on the Buds 3 as compared to the Buds 2. So you have a couple of more features added to the Buds 3 as compared to the Buds 2. And so far, if you have made this to this point in the video, I would like to say the part that is coming in from now, it's more important, so just stick around. Now, when it comes to dual device connectivity, Realme hasn't told us anything about it in detail. So let's say here we have two Android phones, and if I open the case of the Realme Buds Air 3, so it by default gets connected to one of my phone. Usually it's the recent phone which you got connected to, but at this point if I want to connect it to my second phone, so I have to tap on the Realme Buds Air 3. It will ask for a connection from the previous phone, and if I tap allow, then it's going to connect it to my second phone as well. So the connection establishment is from the Realme Buds Air 3 to my existing phone and then to the second phone. It's not a direct connection between the two phones. After testing this on the Realme Buds Air 3, I thought of doing the same with my Buds Air 2. So you can already see that my Buds Air 2 are connected to the phone on the right side, and it's showing on the phone on the left side as well. So I click that, I get a connection request from my first phone, and this is how the Buds 2 also get connected to both of the phones. So I could not figure out what's the difference of dual device connectivity between the Buds 2 and the Buds Air 3, because both of these are getting connected to the phones at the same time, and both phones have to be an Android phone. Now, after testing the connectivity between the two Android phones, I thought of making the things more complicated and bringing an iPad and an Android. So you can already see that as I open the case, my buds first of all get connected to the iPad instead of the Android, and if I ask for a connection request from Android, it simply doesn't connect to the Android because your iPhone or the iPad doesn't permits for the connection, or you can say it doesn't gives the permission to share its Bluetooth connection. So if you have an iPad or an iPhone, maybe I didn't test out with the iPhone, but I have the iPad, but I think iPhone will also behave in the same way. So if you have an iPad and an Android, so the buds will get connected to only one of the device and it's not going to connect with the other device. Now after doing this, I once again tested the same with the Buds Air 2 and I got this exactly same result. So as I open the case, the Buds Air 2 got connected to my iPad and it doesn't get connected to my Android. And when I ask for the connection request from Android, so you can already see that the iPad or the iPhone simply blocks that connection and it doesn't want to share its Bluetooth with any of the other device, which was quite expected. Now the third way people would be using these buds is to connect them to your Windows laptop and to connect it with your Android. So the connectivity between the Windows laptop and Android is very seamless. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that initially in the Realme Link Cap, you first of all have to turn that dual device connectivity feature to on, and then you don't have to wait for any sort of pairing process or any sort of request from one device to the other, and the buds will get connected very fast. Apart from that, I tried out the same on my Realme Buds Air 2 and unfortunately the Buds Air 2 didn't connect on my Windows laptop, but at the same time I got the request on my Android phone for connectivity. So Buds Air 2 doesn't connect with your Windows laptop. After doing this, I tried taking some calls on Skype, watching some videos on YouTube and how the buds were behaving and how the calls were interrupting different things, and I also tried taking calls over the network. So I would say everything was working quite seamless. Only sometimes you have to face some kind of issue, but overall it's good for all those people who are working from home and who want to take your calls on Skype or Microsoft Teams. Now talking about the audio quality, so Buds Air 3 are a lot of improvement over the Buds Air 2, especially in the audio department. Although both of these have the same 10mm drivers on paper, but Buds Air 3 are slightly more loud as compared to Buds Air 2. You will find a lot more clarity in the Buds Air 3 as compared to the Buds Air 2, and also the vocals are more enhanced on the Buds Air 3 as compared to the Buds Air 2. So in terms of audio, Buds Air 3 is definitely an improvement on the Buds Air 2. The next thing that comes is the quality of microphone. Now quality of microphone was a slight disappointment because Buds Air 2 was already having a phenomenal microphone quality, maybe because the microphone was at the bottom, but in the Buds Air 3 they just blocked that hole which was there in the bottom, and they I think shifted the position of microphone to somewhere on the top. So when I tested in my initial video, when I tested the Buds Air 3, I actually called from this particular room to some of my friends, and as this room is already silent, so everyone said that they are getting a good quality on these particular earbuds. But when I went to my office and I used the Buds Air 3, a lot of people complained that they are getting a lot of background noise around me and they are not able to hear my voice clearly. So after their complaints, when I switched over to the Buds Air 3, they were saying that they are getting now the microphone quality is quite good. So in terms of audio department, I would say in terms of like the microphone department, I would say the Buds Air 2 are better as compared to the Buds Air 3, which can be slightly disappointing to a lot of people. So especially for those people who take a lot of calls and who want to buy the buds especially for taking up calls and talking over the phone, I would say go for the Buds Air 2 instead of the Buds Air 3. So guys, the video is already very long as of now, and if you think that I left something which need to be included in the video, do let me know in the comment section below. I'll try to answer that there, and I hope you like this, and I'll give you more update on dual device connectivity in the upcoming videos. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.